Hey guys, Ambance here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to beat Night 3 on Five Nights at Freddy's. Night 3 is a night that tends to stress out a lot of players, and there are some valid reasons why they'd be stressed out, but it's actually very easy, and I'm going to show you a strategy today that will allow you to beat it every time. Also going to be going over some of the fundamentals, of course, of the game that I may not have talked about before, particularly relating to Freddy, since this is the first night that he activates. So let's go ahead and get into it. And what we're going to do to start this night off is we're just going to spam the camera like this. Like just pull it up and immediately put it down as soon as the image flashes. There's a reason why we're doing this. One of the reasons is to actually practice, because we are going to be using this mechanic later for 420 mode. But the other reason is that it actually is helpful because it prevents Freddy and Foxy from being able to move early, which is what we want. Our main goal on this night is to stall both Freddy and Foxy for as long as possible. The reason that we're doing this on show stage and not Pirate's Cove is so that Freddy will also be stalled. Unlike Foxy, Freddy cannot move if you're looking at the camera, but only if it's actually the camera that he's currently on. So you do have to be looking at wherever he is, which is currently the show stage, of course. And one other thing that I wanted to mention about this night is Bonnie's AI level actually is 0 at the start of the night, so Bonnie cannot move until at least 2 a.m. So there's literally no need at all to check the left light until at least 2 a.m. He usually won't be there until like 3 a.m. or after even. So no need to check the left light for a while, which is the big reason why this night isn't much harder. So we're going to go ahead and start checking the right light now as well, since Chica's been gone for a while. Unlike Bonnie, Chica cannot teleport, so it will take her a while to get over here. I don't think she's necessarily close yet, but you know, better safe than sorry. It's always best to start checking the light pretty early. It's not going to use too much power, and, you know, it's better than just randomly dying to Chica. So, let's flip over to Pirate's Cove real quick. You are going to want to occasionally check Pirate's Cove. Just occasionally, you know, like, you don't want to keep the camera on there for too long, obviously, because you want to be stalling Freddy in the process, but especially if you're anxious about Foxy moving, since you're not looking at him, I'd recommend just check it every hour. Like, there's no need to check it any more than that. Okay, Chica's gone, so let's go ahead and open up that door again. So, yeah, this is pretty much what you're just going to do for the entire night up until about 2 or 3 a.m. Until Bonnie leaves the stage, there's no need to do anything else. Just start checking the right light here. Right light, camera, put it down. Right light, camera, put it down. Just repeat this strategy over and over and over. It is going to be a little boring, and it may stress your hand a little bit that you're using on the mouse, since you're going to have to be flicking it down so constantly, but you're going to be pulling up the camera and putting it down a lot more and a lot faster than this on 420 mode, so it's good practice anyway. Once it hits 2 a.m., I'm going to go check on Foxy again, just make sure that he's in its proper place. Last time we checked, the curtains were closed, so that's just proof that the strategy does work. Foxy's not moved at all because of how often we're viewing the camera, even though we're not looking at Cam 1C. It's probably going to cause some anxiety, like I said, in some newer players. If you're not 100% sure if the strategy is working, this is why I say check Foxy every hour, which I would recommend for beginners and even for advanced players, because there's a small chance that if you're not checking the cameras often enough, Foxy can still move. So I'd recommend it regardless, but it also kind of helps with that anxiety of, okay, well, you know, like, I don't think he's moving, but I can't actually see him, so it's going to be really scary or really annoying or whatever if he runs down this hallway and kills me, right? Okay, so Bonnie just left. He actually left quite a bit earlier than I thought. So we're going to start checking the left light pretty shortly. I hear footsteps, not sure what side that's on, but once again, better safe than sorry, so let's go ahead and start checking the left light. And here you're basically just going to be using Night 2 strategy from now on, with the added thing of checking Pirate's Cove every hour, because obviously your camera is now on the show stage instead of Pirate's Cove. So there's two strategies you can use here. You can either do light, camera, light, camera, or you can do light, light, camera, which is slower. For this night, just to make sure that Foxy and Freddy don't move, I personally would recommend light, camera, like only check one light. If you are pulling up and putting down the camera quick enough, then you will be completely fine here. As long as you're doing it quick enough, there's no way that Bonnie or Chica is going to break in. Chica is staying at the door for a very long time, so I'm not really sure what's up with that. We're going to lose more power than intended, but we should still be okay here. Once it hits 3 a.m., we'll go back to Pirate's Cove and check on Foxy, just to be safe. Freddy's still there? Okay. It is now 3 a.m. Chica is gone. Let's go ahead and check on Foxy real quick. Okay, Foxy's still not moving, so Foxy will not be a problem this night as long as we keep this pattern up. And this strategy is just so effective on night 3 because it completely rules out Freddy and Foxy. So, I mean, those are the two biggest threats of the entire game. You know, like, as long as you have good reflexes, Bonnie and Chica are almost never going to cause you much issues. They'll drain power for a little while, you know, like, based on RNG, how long they stay there. But they're not really going to be a big problem. It's always Freddy and Foxy that are the big threats. So, if you can take those guys out, then you shouldn't have any problem as long as you have decent reflexes. You can stay on the camera a little bit longer than I am right now, by the way, like 1 second longer if you're not quite sure where to look yet. I know exactly where to look on all of the cameras because I played this game for a really long time. But if you are a newer player, and you're not quite sure if Freddy is still on the stage, you can be like, okay, you know, I see him, let's put down the camera. There's a little bit higher risk that you could die to Bonnie or Chica, but on night 3, it's not a very large one, so you should be fine regardless. So just make sure you're ready to close the door at any opportunity as soon as you see an animatronic in the doorway. Chica is going to show up a lot on this night. This is one of the nights where she's most aggressive, which is why I think night 3 is one of the most unique and interesting nights in the game. Is Bonnie's almost non-existent in the first half of the night, and almost just the night in general. And Chica's very aggressive. Like, I think her AI level is actually higher, or no, it's not higher. It's around the same, I think, as it is at the start of night 5, which is just insane. Like, by the end of night 3, she's as aggressive as she is at the start of night 5, which is just crazy. Okay, Foxy's still in his curtains, no problem there. Let's open up that door since Chica's gone. We are running a little bit low on power. There have been some unfortunate things happening, such as Chica staying at the door longer than she ordinarily would. But no problems there. As long as we keep up the strategy, then we'll still have enough power left to survive the night. Even if the power does cut off, we're going to be extremely close to 6 a.m., so there's nothing to worry about there. Just keep going. Light, camera. Light, camera. The animatronic is there. Close the door. Once again, like I mentioned last time, Bonnie's shadow is right here. Once that goes away, we know he's gone. But if you see his shadow, he's still there, so no need to open the door to check. And I am using a little bit more power probably than I should just by continuously checking the left light this often. But, of course, once I see Bonnie's gone, I want to know he's gone as early as possible so I can open the door. So, it might lose you a little bit of power overall, but it depends on how long he stays. And Bonnie typically doesn't stay as long as Chica. Let's go ahead and check on Pirate's Cove again one last time. Foxy is still behind the curtains, rendered non-existent on this night. So Foxy is not a threat. As long as you do this strategy, Foxy will never attack you. Hear footsteps in one of the hallways. One other thing that I wanted to mention, I would not recommend trying to play this game without sound cues. I would recommend cranking up your volume pretty high, actually. I know the sound that the animatronics make when they attack you and some of the other sound cues can be pretty frightening for a new player, but trust me, you are going to be way, way more likely to succeed if you do have your volume turned up to a good level. You won't use as much power because you can rely on sound cues easier, and it'll get used to the flow of the game overall. We are starting to run low on power here, as you can see. So I do have a little backup strategy that I'm going to show off here that is going to be what you're going to be using in 420 mode, and whenever you start to run out of power, you're going to want to do this. So once we hit 6%, we're going to check on Foxy. He's behind the curtain, and what we're going to do is we're going to look over here, and we're going to do nothing. We're not going to move the mouse. We're not going to check the door lights. We're not going to pull up the camera. We're not going to do anything. And the reason why we do this is no animatronic besides Foxy can kill us while we have the camera monitor down. As long as you didn't already let Freddy in, there's not going to be a problem. He's not going to get in, and there you go, 6 a.m. There's a chance that I could have ran out of power if I kept doing that strategy that I was doing, and then there's a very, very small chance that I could have died to Freddy there. So once you hit like 6% power, if Foxy is in a very early stage, like if he's in the curtains or just peeking out, then you can absolutely afford to do that. It's going to be a little frightening, but I mean, you can even just stand up and walk out of the room if it makes you feel better. Like, you know, it's a good strategy regardless. It's a good backup strategy if you do happen to run low on power like I did there. So anyway, with that, guys, thank you for watching this guide. I hope it helped you, and I'll see you in the next one.